First of all, Mark Kohler is not boring, right? If you ever watched any of his YouTube videos, you know he's not boring, right? So just take that personality and I'll put it into this event. I think of it as like a Greek wedding that goes on for 3 days, right? And with a lot of education. And by the time everybody goes home Saturday, they're exhausted and their heads are exploding. And it's just, yeah, it's a great educational event. And you're right, it's not the typical CPA boring. This is the text, this is the whatever. This is good stuff and a lot of great energetic speakers and topics.
Welcome back. I'm joined with Randy. He's going to be speaking at the Tax and Legal 360 conference along with me and so many other great speakers. So I want to introduce you to Randy, and he's going to share about why he's talking and what he's talking about and just his motivation and why he's excited and why this is going to be a great conference that you don't want to miss. Randy, please share your thoughts.
Awesome. Well, David, it's so nice to talk with you today. And yeah, I'm always glad to talk about things that we're going to talk about at 360 because it's going to be a great event. I've been involved with Mark Kohler for many, many years, and I've been a speaker at previous 360s before. My topic this time is actually about the one percenters, right? Because every tax advisor, every financial advisor, obviously they love working with those types of people, right? But at the same time, a lot of advisors, again, whether you're tax or financial, insurance, mortgage, doesn't matter. You get intimidated when you work with these folks because you don't really have enough opportunity to work with them often enough to have a good portfolio of strategies to deliver to them. So we got a bunch, right? At Lifetime, we have a bunch of these strategies, and we can't talk about all of them, but I'll give you a preview about the ones we intend to talk about at this upcoming 360. All right. So the first one we're going to talk about are captive insurance companies, right? A captive insurance company is an insurance company that our clients would own, right? And the idea is that all business owners have business risks, and some risks they're willing to insure or they're forced to insure with a third-party insurer. It's like, errors and omission insurance for a professional or workman's compensation, things like that. General liability, you have to have it. You're going to have it, and you're going to have it with a third-party insurance company. But nobody, of course, wants to, like, say, get car insurance and then get in a car accident just to collect the benefit, right? You don't want to get in the car accident. And so, obviously, as business owners, there's a lot of risks that we have that we're unwilling to insure to a commercial insurance company because we hope we don't have the accident, right? But if, on the other hand, if we insured them with an insurance company that we owned, then the premiums I pay to that insurance company would be deductible for me as an business expense. But if I didn't realize the loss, I'd get to keep the money, right? It's a self-insurance strategy, right? And so captive insurance companies, they're for these one percenters. You have to have a pretty large size company. I'll explain more at the 360 about it, right? But for the right fact pattern, when you have the right size company that has the right size risks or the right types of risk, a captive insurance company is a huge opportunity for them to get asset protection, to have investment opportunities, and to, of course, create effective tax strategies as well. So that's one of the things we're going to talk about. Another thing we're going to talk about that I'm always very passionate about are retirement savings plans, right? Now, retirement savings plans is my generic title for all the types of plans we have. 401ks, IRAs, SEPs, Simples, 403bs, 457s, right? All these different retirement plans. And our moniker, our brand name, if you will, for retirement savings plans is the Super K. Super K is not on the IRS website. It's on mine, not on theirs, right? But the idea is with the Super K, we combine the defined contribution plans, the IRAs, the 401ks, and so on, profit sharing, with the defined benefit side, where you can bring in cash balance, something called a 401h, which I'm sure anybody listening to this recording that's never been to the 360 and heard me talk about the 401h, never heard of it, right? Not brought up at all, right? We combine these things to really maximize the opportunity for tax deductions for the business owner, right? And of course, large contributions to the retirement savings, right? And I'm not talking about like $70,000 a year. I'm talking more like $200,000, $300,000, $500,000 contributions into your retirement savings plans for the business owner, right? And if you're married, times two all that stuff. So that's another thing we're going to talk about. Now, we're going to have other subjects. I think I'll hold those as a little teaser for your listeners. I'm also going to have a co-presenter there with me, Anna Klein, who is an enrolled agent and a tax specialist, and she's going to. So I'll be talking from the strategy side, and then she'll be bringing in all the nerdy stuff that the tax people like on the IRS. This is the website or the web code, and this is there it goes on the tax return, and she'll be doing all that stuff too. So it's going to be pretty exciting. And again, for those of you that are listening to this that have clients that are part of that 1% or want to go find those clients and have the 1%, this is the breakout session you want to attend because this is where you're going to get the tools, learn about the tools to do that way. There you go.
Wow. Powerful strategies. This is definitely, I can see why Mark is having you come back and teach this. This
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah. Anything else you want to know, or are we good?
Why are you such a big fan of Mark Kohler?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I met Mark, like I said, about 12, 14 years ago. We've been doing, I'll call them speaking tours for more than 12 years. We used to go all around the country and we'd speak in Seattle, we'd speak in Chicago, we've been in Philadelphia, here down in Orange County where I am. We'd get pretty good sized groups, but the reality is, about, let's say about 3, maybe 4 years ago now, we noticed that the audience had about 30% attendees that were enrolled agents and CPAs. Right now, remember we're out supposed to be talking to business owners and consumers, but we got all these tax professionals showing up. So a light bulb came on Mark's head and said, you know what? There's a real need for this out there, right? The poor tax guys are tired of the compliance stuff, competing with TurboTax. They want something more, and something more is uh, the ability to deliver more value to the clients above and beyond filing a tax return. He started this whole thing, this Main Street tax professional, just a couple years ago with a handful of CPAs and enrolled agents, and now it's exploded. When you go there, the energy will be palpable. Anyway, in addition to all the great speakers and education and breakout sessions, it's a lot of fun too, right? We do events in the evening. We have luncheons, and everybody always says this, but it's really true at these events. The networking opportunities to meet other people in your profession or people like myself there are huge, right? This is
Wait. So you're saying that this is not the typical boring accountant CPA conference? Like they actually have fun?
Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, Mark Kohler's not boring, right? If you ever watched any of his YouTube videos, you know he's not boring, right? So just take that personality and I'll put it into this event. I think of it as like a Greek wedding that goes on for 3 days, right? And with a lot of education. And by the time everybody goes home Saturday, they're exhausted and their heads are exploding. And it's just, yeah, it's a great educational event. And you're right, it's not the typical CPA, boring. This is the text. This is the whatever. This is good stuff and a lot of great energetic speakers and topics. Walk out of each one of these sessions with handfuls of opportunities, right? And you got to siphon those down and sort them and prioritize them to know what you're going to do. So yeah, come to the event. The event's over on Saturday afternoon, but stay a Saturday night and maybe Sunday. Give yourself a day to absorb all this stuff. You got to prioritize. When you hit the office on Monday, you can start doing the most important thing, which is implementing. Right?
True.
Yep. Yep.
Perfect. The gold nuggets. Thank you so much. Final thoughts, ideas. What do you want to leave with?
Now, be there. If you haven't already registered, be there. If you can't come to Orange County for whatever reason, do the virtual, right? I do virtual conferences all day long. I should say all day long, but I've done many all day long virtual conferences. And again, these are not boring. So you can sit there, you can watch them at your convenience, you can chunk them up. Even, by the way, even if you do attend, you're going to get the virtual access to all the other breakout sessions, right? So you will get to see everything because we're going to have 3, 4 speakers going on at the same time, and you want to be everywhere and you can't be. So if you haven't registered, register. If you can't come and join us live, join us virtually and join us live the next time, right? But come, attend, participate.
Well said. Well said. Thank you so much. I'm so excited that you're on the show and look forward to seeing everybody there and meeting you and just, having a good time, learning stuff and just doing it.
Likewise.
That's great.
Thanks for setting this up today.
If you're interested in attending, please use the coupon code DavidTuck2025 for a 10% off in person or live. Look forward to seeing you there. Blessings.